Hey guys, I'm back today working on the Jeep Liberty. Again, if you guys haven't watched the other videos, there's part 1, 2, and 3. This is basically today's video is just going to be over the timing set. So I'm going to kind of show you my process, how I'm going to do this. Again, there might be better videos out there, but you never know. There might be something I show that you can use the two and get there. So I am going to link another video here on YouTube that it's actually a really good video. The guy does a pretty good job going over everything. Again, like I said, I think the more the merrier. There's always something maybe I video that maybe he didn't, or something maybe he went over that he just did a better job explaining or whatnot. So where I'm setting currently, if you guys are following this project, heads are torqued down, cams are back in, torqued down, head bolts on the manifold are all in, torqued down. So right now I'm ready to put the timing chains up in. I need to pull these sprockets off the face to do this. Actually, I may not. I'm going to try not to pull them off if I can get away with it. I don't know if there's going to be enough slack in this chain without the tensioners in there and the guides. I think like I said, I'll kind of go over this. I'm going to try it without taking them. Worst case scenario, I will take off these cam sprockets. I really don't want to if I don't have to, but we'll see how that goes. This one here, I am going to have to rotate. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it is off now. It needs to be, the V6 needs to be here, which it's over here. So I need to get that V6 up to here, and you guys will see here in a minute where these timing marks right here. This little one right here will line up with the chain here in a little bit, as well as this one here will line up with the chain. And again, my V6 on this one is pretty much 12 o'clock. So you've got your timing mark here. Again, this lines up with the timing mark that's on the actual timing cover. So you set that before it's top dead center. You can also tell that by where your piston is parked. In here, sorry guys, my hand got in the way. You've also got a timing mark here on the top of this sprocket. I don't know if you guys can see that, but you got that little dot right there. So that's going to line up with your I guess that's going to be what you call your upper timing set. I don't really know what you call it, but whatever that top sprocket, whatever you call it, there's a spot for that to line up as well. So enough here. We'll get over here. I've got a bench set up, tabletop. Then I'm going to kind of go over my process. Again, there's probably better ways, but this is the way I'm going to do it, and fingers crossed it works. So I'll catch you guys here in just a second. First off, I'm going to start here. This is a ultra power timing kit. I did get this from Rock Auto. So far, everything that I've gotten from them, the head gaskets, the head gasket actually looks as close to original, the Mopar, as you probably get. I mean, it looks really, really good. So I know there's some stuff every once in a while you can get that's a little iffy, but so basically I've got new tensioners, which I'll go over that. I actually did steal the spring off of this one to get my old tensioner. I'll show you how to put that back. It's pretty easy. There's a little slot right here. I don't know if you guys can see that little hole right there. So you can take a pick or a flat blade screwdriver, pull that back, and then this will shove down, which I'll go over in a minute, and we'll put the pin back in that one because we're going to need these grenade pins in these. So here's your main tensioner. This will bolt in. You'll bolt everything in except for this top bolt, because this is also one of your guides uses that bolt hole on top, but we'll go over that in a second. Again, new guides, all 4 of those. You've got your other timing, your cam chain, got both, or sprockets, got both of those there. This is your other main sprocket, and then you've got your other one here for your upper. So which we'll go over that in just a second. You don't putting that on. So I honestly, we're gonna look at the one I got. I may not use this. The sprockets, actually, the teeth look really, really good. I mean, you can compare them. Here's another couple more guides. And then you got your timing chains, which if you guys notice, you got some black chains in there. That's, you've really got to be aware of where those are at. This is your short one. So this goes on your main, basically from your crank to your upper. And these are the ones that go up to your cams. Again, they're marked here. So we'll kind of go over that. This is just your other tensioner. So basically this kit comes with everything. I mean, there's everything you need to rebuild this except the bolts is here. So pretty decent kit. Like I said, so far the parts look very, very similar to the OEM stuff I just pulled off. So I think the quality is going to be decent. I think Jeep, if I remember right when I was looking in the manual, I think the timing chain and stuff is like 120,000 miles or something like that. So this Jeep, I believe, has two something on it. So definitely doesn't hurt to do this. It's something I didn't have to do. It really wasn't an issue, but I figured, hey, I'm in here, I'm this deep, I might as well get everything new. I'm going to also do a new water pump, new thermostat again. Don't believe there was any issues, but you're already here, you might as well put it on new. So basically this Jeep from the heads up is going to be fairly gone through. So the head on the driver's side is still OEM, but everything felt good. So passenger side again has been replaced, but like I said, everything so far that I've been through, the cylinder walls look great. Yeah, I have no reason to believe that it won't do several more miles. But anyway, I'm gonna get the camera set up here. We'll get this stuff opened up, and I will go into more detail on how to get this all set up to install. All right, guys, I got everything set up here for the initial. Like I said, I'm not going to change this main sprocket. You guys can see this. If I line this up, perfect. You guys can see those gears. The teeth on it look identical, so there is absolutely no reason to swap that out. I mean, that sprocket looks just as good as this one as far as the teeth go. So we're not going to change that one out. We're going to leave it just like it is rather than pull it off. So, I mean, you guys can, like I said, you set that over the top and you look down at there, the teeth are not worn. So we're not going to use this sprocket. We'll set it off the side. So basically, we're going to flip this up like this. You got your timing mark here at the top. This is the one I was talking about. That's going to point up at that other gear that's in there. That's I think that has something to do with your maybe your cam position or crank position. I think it's something to do with the sensor. I'm not 100% sure. Anyway, you want to line that up there. So you're going to grab your bigger chains here. So this one here. And basically what you're going to do is line this up through these slots. So you want to be able to see your black chain links through that window, just like so. So if that makes any sense there. So that's pretty much it. I'll here in just a second, I'll set the camera up here and I'll show you guys how to go ahead and get these tightened up and zip tie them and hold them in place. Okay. So if you look in here, you can see in these windows, right over here, down in these holes right here, you can see that the black chain links that I showed you earlier are in these windows. The other one, you can't really see it because it's on the bottom, but you line those up in these windows here. Once you get those lined up in there, you can put a zip tie here. Let me pull this out of the way. You can zip tie these at 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock, so they're up here out of the way. I had a little bit of issue on this one. If I try to slide it over, it's off a little more. So center them the best you can in those windows. Get them as close as you can. The next step you're going to do is you're going to put this one on here, and basically again you're going to take this black 2 links, line them up right between your timing mark. So you can put a zip tie on here as well. I'm going to help me keep all this together. You don't probably have to, but I'm going to because I don't really want to mess with this all falling apart on me. So I'm gonna put one there, and I'm gonna go ahead because I have the zip ties. Put one over here on this side too. You're gonna want to kind of angle these up a little bit. That way you got plenty of room here to get this pulled pulled kind of apart to slip everything together. So you're gonna put those on like that, and then your last bottom lower one, you're gonna line that timing mark up. Again, this has it on both sides, so it doesn't really matter. You're here, so if you flip it over, you're here. So it doesn't really matter what direction, but you're gonna line that up and put it right here as well. So now that you've got this whole timing set, we're gonna take it over to the vehicle and we'll get it shoved on here. So I'll cut back here in just a second. So I've got the timing set here. I'm gonna go ahead and slide this out of the way here. Knock this off. I may knock it off anyway. Throw it down right for it. Okay, so basically what you're gonna do is keep all this stuff lined up, bring it down here. You're gonna line up your sprocket there, get your keyway in place, and just touch, there we go. And everything's gonna just kind of slide back together. You're gonna want to take these chains once you kind of get it started here, and you can kind of tuck them back. You can set them up on top or kind of fold them up here, which is what I'm gonna do, attempt to do here. Hopefully everything will stay together. So fold these up a little bit, get them up here on top, and then you can, slide all this back into place. Wiggle it a minute here. Remember, you got that other pulley up on top, so that's gotta slide in and line up. Let me go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and pull these chains up out of my way here. Bring them up on top and just kind of hang them up here on my cams. So there we go. Let me get my light down here so I can see better. Okay. So basically where I'm running into right here, you guys can see this. Oops, you don't want to move it too much, but right there, and it should now slide back into place. There we go. So basically, again, guys, you got this sprocket right here. I don't know if you guys can see that, but down inside here, if you guys can see right, maybe here, guys, sorry. You've got that line, that dot right there. You want that dot to line up with this dot. So those two timing marks need to stay in line as well, which it looks like they're going to. So I'm going to continue to push that on. If it gets out of place here, I'll slide it over. I'll pull it back out a little bit, but which it's going to. It's off one tooth, so I'm gonna pull this back a touch, and I'm gonna rotate over one tooth and try again. There we go. Okay. So now we've got everything put in. They're perfectly in line. This one here is perfectly in line too. So now we are good. We can actually cut these two zip ties off. Again, I've got my cam chains pulled up. I'm gonna leave those zip ties on for just a second here. Like I said, I'm gonna do this side first. We'll see how this all works. Like I said, if I don't have to take off my cam sprockets, I'm not going to. One thing I didn't show, I did go ahead and put in this lower main guides and tensioner, the main tensioner. Don't pull any pins yet. You just want to get it in and get it started. So, like I said, I'm gonna clip those two zip ties real fast here. And then we'll jump back here in just a second. I gotta find my side dice, get those cut. So I'll cut back here, guys. So I went ahead and got this pulled off. Basically, what you're doing is you're lining this up with here. So you get that lined up, press back on there. Make sure you get it good and centered here. I gotta find where the bolt. There it is, and we can tighten this one. Back down. Again, you gotta maybe, there we go. So, and these, I believe, I'll have to look back at my book, but I think these are 90 foot-pounds. So go ahead and get these tightened up. These up here, you're gonna put Loctite on, by the way, too, guys, for your deals, which I'll go over in a minute, but don't forget that, because it's something I gotta try to remember too. So we got this one set up. You're lined up here. Everything's good. I'm gonna jump over to this side. I'm gonna yank this one off real quick, and we'll see how that goes here. Let me see if I can kind of throw this down for a second. For the record, I think that side is a 15 mil. I think this is I think it's an 18, I believe. Yeah, it's an 18, because that's a 19. It's a 17. Let me find my 18 down here, guys. Oh, there it is. Should be an 8. Maybe it's not. Maybe it is a 19. Feels a little bit loose to be a 19. Grab what I got here. Here's a. Let me see what a standard for this on it, because again, if that's a different head. Let me see here. Nope. I think it's a 3/4, but 3/4 is looser than 19, so we'll go with a 19. Okay, guys. Again, I don't have the tool to put on here to stop this, so basically what I'm gonna do is try to bump it here. Hopefully it doesn't move on me. We'll see what happens. Didn't move. Awesome. So you definitely don't want to impact this going back on, but taking it off, it definitely makes this easier. So I do have new upper sprockets. I think, I believe the one that's on here right now is original. One thing you guys need to definitely look at here, I'll show you real quick. If you're doing these, you need to pay attention here. I don't know if you guys can see this, but you see your holes here. So if you get a newer one or a different, off of different Jeeps, you have, or different year engines, these spots here will be in different locations on this sprocket. So if they are, your truck's not going to run right, because your cam position sensor comes right up here, and this is what it reads off of. So if you put one of these on and your holes are off, you're going to have problems. Most likely, I don't think you're going to have any major issues, but other than the fact it's just not going to run, you're basically going to go to limp mode, just so you know. Okay, guys, I'm going to go ahead. We'll get this one pulled back up in here. See if I can clip this one here off. Like I said, I try to put these loose enough that they're gonna hold, but I could still kind of slip them up the chain a little bit. But for whatever reason, now that they're back in there, they don't want to move. So let me. And you want to make sure when you take these off that you get them out. They don't go in your oil pan or up in the motor there. So again, you're going to pull this chain up tight. Line up that black dark spot with your dot here that has the R on it. And sorry guys, I know this probably isn't going to be the greatest, but see if I can work that around. There we go. So then once you get that, you're gonna have to put this back on. Here's the part that I don't like, but everywhere I've read or looked online, it's the way to do it here. Let me make sure I got my holes lined up right here. So again, yep, you're gonna be dead center with your R here. So what I'm gonna have to do now, because I'm off, in order to get this on where this is going to line up right here, you guys can see that dowel is way over to the side here. So basically what I'm gonna do is put a rag on here. Somebody's already done it. You can see teeth marks. They actually did it in 2 different places on the previous install, but again, not super fond of this idea, but apparently it's the only way to do it. Like I said, several videos I've watched, the guys did the same thing. So basically what I'm gonna do is wrap a rag up here. Just set a rag on here. And we're going to set these vice grips on it here. Clamp down. And then we're going to rotate this. We're going to attempt to rotate this over. So we're going to rotate this over until which should be right there. Yep, right there. Looks like the dowel's in there. So what I'm looking for, you guys can see that dowel right there is now in place. Oops. So that's what I wanted. Again, my V6 is straight up and down. Basically, we can now reinsert this bolt, and I'm gonna go ahead and snug that one down a bit. Dowel's dead center. I'm at V6 over there, straight up and down V6. Timing lines are up. I'm at top dead center on my crank. Everything is lining up, so should be, fingers crossed, everything set correctly. So now I'm gonna grab my manual here real quick. Give me 1 second, guys. Let me make sure. Like I said, I'm pretty sure it's 90 foot-pounds, but last time I looked at it was yesterday. And, slept since then. Yeah, camshaft sprockets, 90 foot-pounds. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab my torque wrench. Here it is. And get this set up here. Again, I'm gonna set it at 90 foot-pounds. So we're at, yeah, I forgot last time I did this, I was down at doing the cam caps, and that's like 19 foot-pounds or something like that. No, these are 19. That's what I had to set out. The cam caps are 100 inch-pounds. So well, and this torque wrench goes to 80. Awesome. I may have to go out and grab another one. We'll see if it'll let me go past 80 here. So there's 80, 85, and that's all she does, 90. Okay. All right, let's see if I can turn this. So I should be able to get this just fine. All right, guys, I'll back this down for just a second. Look at something before I get too crazy with this. Okay, so there's 80, and I will probably go ahead and bring that back up after I do the other side here. It is a lot, but just don't want to mess anything up. Okay, I'm gonna run it on up now. One more time, because it should be really, really close to there. There we go. Kind of a weird angle, but there we go. So those are now set at 90. Pull the vice grips off. Yeah, I don't think I did any more damage. What was already there is still what's there. So now my chains are all tight. Yeah, I may have to rotate that back. It pulled tight. I think that's just my lifters. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I may have to check all that out, because I'm not real sure why that did what it did. I guess they're both tight on the top side where they're pulled against it. I don't know. I guess we'll see. So the thing that worries me a little bit, but I mean, I can't. I've got to be, I think, right, because my timing marks. What I'm worried about, guys, is everything's tightened up now. When I let that pressure off, this actually rotated on me. But you guys can see all my slack is on this side. So I may have to rotate this a little bit when I put my tensioner and my guides in. We'll see how this all goes. I may should have put my guides in maybe before on the top. I don't know. We'll figure this out here in a second. But this is basically the timing set. So I'm gonna go ahead and start getting my guides figured out here and start putting those in. I will cut back to you guys here in just a second. All right, guys, so I'm back at square one. Not 100% sure what I did wrong here, but I'm gonna go ahead. I've got my tensioners in here. This would be your solid, or your guides, I guess. Got both those in. I'm gonna go ahead and get these torqued down. Get all these torqued and tightened. Then I'm gonna go reset my timing one more time, because at some point I'd gotten off. I'm really not 100% sure how I got off, but I got off. So I don't know if it's because I didn't have these guides in. Apparently you need to put the guides in, put your tensioner, your tensioner guides in as well before you start this. And the issue I was running into is I had a ton of slack on one side. So when I put this on, even though my V6s were right, I don't feel like when my tensioners and everything tightened up, I just don't know. So I'm gonna start over, because again, I wanna make sure this is right. I don't wanna have anything screwed up. So I'm gonna go ahead, torque all my main tensioner bolts and my guides that are in here currently. Get those tightened up and torqued down. I think it's 20 or 21 foot-pounds. I'll have to go double check that. Once I get those tightened down, then I am going to try this again. So basically gonna go back do my whole getting the black dots all lined up, all that good stuff, and we'll try again here. So come back here in just a second. All right, guys, I'm gonna call it on this. I did get it all in. Everything's torqued. You guys can see V6 straight up and down. You can see the black lines lined up there. Come over here, V6 up and down. L is lined up with the black there. You guys can see that black sprocket in there. Maybe back there you can kind of see the black sprockets way back there in the back. It's kind of hard to catch both of those. I don't know, really can't get in there any better than that, but they're both right in there. So timing marks here, see it, and the one down there, line up, and then down here at the bottom, lines up. So everything is tight, pulled all the pins, got everything torqued. These are gonna, once these kind of build some oil pressure, they'll press out a little more and tighten everything up too a little more. But so the next step is going to be putting the timing cover on the front of this and basically piecing this thing back together, getting the intake on, valve covers on. Honestly, I'm not that far away from getting this done, but the last probably hour and a half I've been without a freaking light, because the light I have is awesome when it's charged, but it doesn't last very long. So I'm gonna kind of pick everything up and leave it for tonight. So again, I had to pull everything back out. You have to put these tensioners, get all of your tensioners in before you start putting those chains on. I learned that the hard way. I had everything in, had to take it all back out and put those in. And again, you know, it just took extra time. So I did go in. It is a little bit of a pain in the butt, I'm not gonna lie. This is it's doable. It's just, it's a little bit time consuming, and you just kind of got to keep things held in place while you're trying to put stuff together. It's kind of a pain in the butt, to be honest, but it's doable. So again, if you guys have any questions, sorry the video wasn't probably the greatest because of the fact that I had to pull it all back out. The zip tie thing works. One thing I did learn the second go around, I didn't tighten my zip ties quite as tight, so I could slip them up and get them clipped easier. Outside of that, basically what you guys saw in the video worked well. I'm also going to link the guy that I kind of used his video for guidance, and again, way better video. Check him out. Yeah, he goes into better detail. Again, has better luck, I think, than what I had initially. So this is more from just the average guy doing this at home. You can't do it. So again, I'm gonna get everything picked up tonight, kind of clean up everything, and we'll hopefully get this timing cover on, get the oil drained out of it, new oil filter, and be ready to put this thing back together and hope, fingers crossed, I did it right. So we'll catch you guys in the next one. Thanks again for watching. Love it if you hit that subscribe button. Getting awful close to 1,000. It'd be awesome to hit it, but hey, it is what it is. Thanks again.